now. Chance for Manchani. Bailey, the danger man. He's kicked back-to-back goals.
But being in the best position.
Complete. Oh, mental again. Got it on a string at the moment. He'll kick two in a minute.
Welcome along to Morn Team Kia Oval, and this is set to be an absolutely fantastic game. It is a top-of-the-table clash between the two reigning premiers of the past two seasons, Eagles and Glenelg, and the Bays. Well, what a season they're having right now. Undefeated, they are sitting 3 games clear on top of the ladder, and there's the ladder right now. Former Crows superstar, big man, Rick Biglands joins us, and geez, Biggles, that is breathing space.
Good afternoon, everyone, and Mark, I certainly will be one of the games of the year, no doubt about it. Touch too early, I think, to be talking about a grand final preview, but hopefully we see one of the matches of the season. Of course, the Tigers 10 from 10, and the Eagles winning their last 4.
Really important for the Eagles today too, Biggles, to get a little breathing space on South and Norwood.
That's for sure, them breathing down their necks. And, well, the Eagles, they are in good form. Last time they met those, we just saw they were still trying to work out their lineup. And today they are close to full strength with the return of Premiership hero Gus Paul and former Geelong Live Wire Dan Menzel.
James Cheetahs has been, well, one of the recruits of the year last year, coming across from Victoria, and look at him so far, averaging nearly 29 touches, and he's hard in the middle of the field.
He leads the league in possessions and averages with those 29 disposals per game, and let's hope he goes head-to-head with Snook, because these two ball magnets are absolute beasts around the clearances, around disposals, and the reigning best and fairest for the Tigers. If we can get these two going head-to-head in the clinches, this will be a real highlight to watch for today.
Yeah, Matty Snook had 12 tackles and 10 clearances last time they did meet. Here's our rookie, our Amy rookie, $500 to Toby Pink's junior club, which is Tananoola Footy Club down the southeast, and he spent some time in Sydney, and good to see him back here at the Bay.
Tananoola Tigers out near Lake Bonnie, and remember he kicked he had to kick a point in the 2016 Under-18 Grand Final after the siren, remember that one, Soda?
Yep,
and it wobbled through about 10 blokes' legs?
Inside the square of the Adelaide Oval, and it went through that many pairs of North defenders' legs. They could not believe they'd given up. But Toby then was rookie listed to Sydney. He's a big boy. Played a fair bit of footy, I think 41 games for the Swans too. So good to see him back here at the Bay. And look, they've got a great lineup. They've been able to recruit really well and just pepper their side with some extra talent. John Casey joins us. Case, you've been out checking the weather and so forth. We've had a bit of rain, but the sun's out now.
Yeah, thanks very much for that too. It's a little bit chilly. Good afternoon, everyone. Really looking forward to this clash. Two great teams. The ground is a little heavy in patches, and certainly in the middle of the ground it's going to be a little bit sticky, but both these teams chock full of talent. It may not be the grand final preview, but what I will say today, if Glenelg win their 11th consecutive game to start the season, the last time they did that was 1969, as we mentioned on 7 News during the week, and the last team to win their first 11 games was North Adelaide back in 1989. But I think if Glenelg win today, then they get such a 4-game gap with 7 games to play. You'd think that they've locked up almost a top 3 spot, or maybe the minor premiership. They're going to be hard to beat if the Eagles can't get this one today.
No doubt when things are going to tighten up going into the finals, and Glenelg can then start to manage a few players. Michael Virgin out today is a big loss for them in their defence. Now, with the rain around, not really sure who this favours, but certainly Glenelg have the bigger bodied. They're a little bit taller as well, so maybe a slim little advantage with the rain around and the heavy conditions for the Eagles today.
Set to go. Undefeated Glenelg 10-0 up against second place Eagles here, and it's expected to be a really tight contest. Cheetahs just bumped off the ball there. First kick forward from Agnew to get the Bays inside. They're attacking 50. Pink couldn't control it. Gafrida knocked down taking the kick, was impacted. And came back to Brad Agnew, who fires it high ball. And well done, reading it nicely. Thompson comes out full-chested, takes the mark, and now he's got some availability out wide as well. And a chance now for Beacon, been so impressive so far. His short pass, Hayes took front position there. Good opposition from Dylan Lant, and he's been impressive this year, giving away a bit of size there. And Jack Hayes so influential. A handful of Eagles players going with the long sleeves today. And he brings it up right in front of the Glenelg interchange bench at the moment. Slippery conditions. Stengel kept it alive. Good kick as well. Gets it forward. Cheetahs just does have a habit of holding on to the ball a little bit and can get caught with it, and that's the equation here, and the free kick is going the way of Partington. And plenty involved here.
And that's brilliant work from Partington, because Tudor's had a lot of space and he could have easily overcommitted and given away a free kick, but in his 50th match, Partington does the job and turns it over.
McGarry Medalist drives the ball inside 50, couple of bites at it. McBean squeezes a kick, but the veteran, the 200 gamer, Paddy Gafrida, just reliable as always, and then finds Riley Knight out to the side. Riley Knight getting plenty of the footy, averaging 26 touches a game, sends it back where it came, and Gafrida's going to take things out of defence from the other side. He was looking for McFarlane, couldn't gather it, so the Tigers with a chance back in. Darcy Bailey's kick is red hot and has hit Marlon Motlop.
Luke Thompson started the game well, but it's a difficult matchup. He intercepted the first two possessions that were going down into attack. This one, speed of ball movement, and Bailey with a beautiful pinpoint pass. Motlop here has been in some pretty good form as well recent times. Gettable shot from that pocket.
Yeah, he's been a journeyman, Marlon Motlop, and this kick is really good to start for the Tigers. They draw first blood.
Have a look at the class from Marlon Motlop here. Statewide Super replay. 3 goals last time he played, a fortnight ago, and he's already on the scoreboard today.
He's been good all season, Marlon Motlop. Such a danger up in attack for them. Chance now for the Eagles to get some motion forward through Knight. High ball. In a tangle there was Hayes. Couldn't draw a free kick though. Shoveling out the hand pass on all fours there was Menzel. Now Bomberto, head down. Tigers defence has been solid. Been solid all year, it has to be said as well. Best defence, the Eagles averaging, giving up 64. The Bay 65. High ball now. No one can complete the mark. It's the deck. Max Proud is there. And with support, they get it out of the danger zone from Lant, but only as far here as Beacon. Turns down the lead of Hayes. He's looking a little deeper than that. Runs his measure. Good depth with a kick as well. Maybe, in fact, a little too deep for his forwards. And through for a minor score.
In case you talked about their intercepting defenders for Glenelg, of course, with their skipper Curran and Proud, their co-captains. With the wet conditions today, it's dried up a little bit at the moment. If it comes in wet, maybe that might take the intercepting style and marking ability of those two guns out of it. But we'll see how that plays out.
Lant with a clearing kick. Good protection there from McBean. Allows Hanneth to take the mark at half back. It looks inboard, just changing the angles. Partington with a chance to run. The kick to him was just fantastic. Knocking the ball forward is Reynolds. It's a star-studded forward line, even with Hosey out. Reynolds dribbles just across the face.
Gee, that is some real speed of ball movement through the middle. Great work from Hanneth, and this ball almost did enough to just get back in and have the option available there with Pink, who just needed to sit up and he could have got a toe to it.
Restart from Toompas is a deep one, but it's coming back quickly off the boot of Matt Allen. Again, Reynolds. He's kicked goals in all 10 games this season, Reynolds, so you'd expect he's going to kick a goal sooner or later. Hits the deck here. Good opposition from Pierce Seymour. One of 3 changes back into this team for the Eagles, with Seymour, Poole and Menzel coming back in. And Hardy and Haylock both played in the reserves, and Clay Cameron, they'll miss his drive off half back today. Been a good recruit for them. Free kick going the way of Riley Knight. Keeps it low. Bomberto slips through his fingers. Poole tried to bullock his way through. Dylan Lamb wasn't buying it though. An umpire says, I'll have it. We've got a nest of Tigers supporters sitting right in front of us here in our commentary position, so they're making their presence felt too.
Yeah, Michael Virgin's sitting there too. He's out injured, missing his first game for the year for the Tigers, and he'll be as loud as any of their supporters.
Now, this free kick is going to go in the way of Lonergan, who's having a heated little conversation there with Allen. The umpire saw it, shoved him over, but saw that tackle before from Dylan Land. He's been ripping touch as well. 25 disposals against the Roosters and 10 rebound 50s.
Sharking it up. Stengel quickly around the corner. It's going to fall nicely. Cheetahs sends it over to Mudge, and he runs towards an open goal and drives it through the middle. Now the Eagles have got one.
Cheetahs continuing to dominate the disposal count in his recent outings and this whole season. And have a look at Kobe Much and the celebration, just letting him know we've got some think music happening. Great goal from the pocket.
Nice way to get his first goal at SANFL level after playing a couple of seasons with the Bombers, with Essendon, just the 5 games. So enjoy that as the Tigers come off half-back once more. Reynolds the target. Right there with him, Sammy Rowland. Hand pass intended for him, just missed the target. Turner got problems. Good pressure here. Pudney gets the loose ball. Out wide. Beacon around the body. Good depth for the kick. It's sitting underneath it. That's a good grab going back effectively, Brodie Newman.
Inside 50 count at the moment. The Bays have had 6 with West Torrens, just the 2. And scoring a goal out of those 2 inside.
Almost a push in the back. The umpire has seen it that way. So it will go against Beacon.
Be a good battle between Beacon and Bradley.
The experienced campaigner up against the young buck. Bradley shares it close quarters here with Jack Yates. Well set up behind the ball here with the West Torrens. Pink just goes to the front of the pack there. Good hands. Motlop lurking with intent. Got the hands to it. Couldn't complete the mark. Now gets it back. Motlop short kick. Misses the target. Not his best effort. Partington has to go back and find it. Good pressure. Really played that well, Zane Williams. Ball still in dispute though. Jack Ferns gets involved. Toompas quickly onto the boot, but ill-directed. Max Proud takes the mark. Well, 36 players in one half of the ground here as the Tigers load up. And they get it forward. Bailey sharked the tap. McBean was being harassed by 2 defenders when they handballed the ball in his direction. Now over the top, they're trying to draw a free kick. Umpire says, I'll have it.
A couple of key disposal winners for both sides. Agnew has 3 as well as Partington, 3 disposals. And for the Eagles, Cheetahs and Riley Knight have 3 apiece also.
Coming through Bailey, just losing his feet there. Maybe a little clip around the ears. He's going to get a free kick here.
He started really well, hasn't he? Been in under. Let's have a look here. So as he goes low and hard, oh yeah, that was there. Lonergan, a real clumsy sort of hit across the cheek. And he's a pretty good converter. Bailey, he shouldn't have too many issues here. He already had 2 disposals. And that pocket again is going to be a good one to score from. Notice Wood West Torrens are taking the flags down as well. Nice little trick, that one.
Normally makes the most of his opportunities. Almost going at a goal a game. Bailey, and he drives this one through. So they're out by 6 points now, the Bays.
Just out of a stoppage, Bailey made sure the umpire saw it. It was there, though, and great start from the Tigers. Impressive work from Martin Motlop, who's already been influential early with his 2nd and 3rd efforts.
Jack Hayes into the ruck. Having an impact as well. Snook will be suited by these conditions. Just loves doing the hard things. Around the body, Jackson Edwards. Put the volume down on those boots, I think, Jackson Edwards at the moment. Here's Partington driving through the middle of the ground. Pressing again, wants McBean. Well done, Seymour. Roland joins in on blindsided Thompson. Well done, Motlop. Good tackle. Ball in dispute. Motlop tries to pick it up. Hand pass. Lonergan dives across. Here's Snook. He goes in hard. Along with Sinor. It's going to be work rate is so important. McBean did that well to Cooler. Great smother, in fact. They're going to bring it back and say it's a free kick. I thought it looked good. I had the binoculars on it, and I thought he got the hand pass away. And so did Liam McBean. Free kick to Sinor. It is in replay. It looked okay.
It's a definite handball. Now, Glenelg was stiff there. Marlon Motlop as well had Lukey Thompson done holding the ball. Umpire blindsided, didn't pay it.
Roland out wide with the run off half back. Pudney sold into trouble. Couldn't get a handball away. Edwards releasing the ball for Hannett. And the big man takes the mark. 24 hit-outs last week for Hannett, or 2 weeks ago, coming off the bye. 24 against North Adelaide. And here's Max Proud just beckoning a teammate forward. Short pass is on the money. Nicely moved. Got it to Jack Yates. Looks up. Centering kick. Hayes impacts the contest. Cooler coming hard the other way. Good tackle there. Ball still in dispute. And a chance now for the Tigers through Brodie Newman. I like what he brings to the table as well. High ball here. Toompas going back with the flight. Well protected by Roland. Takes the mark and uses Hayes at centre half back.
Intensity's right up, and this is another turnover opportunity here for the Bays.
Hayes missed the target. Here's Durden. His kick cut off. Yates quickly onto McFarlane. Here's another chance for Durden to set things up. Motlop can run. Just a little fumble, put some pressure on. He's got Snook in support. Terrific work from Jonkva, and a quick kick from Motlop hassles forward, and the defence is held up really well. Yates. Von Berto at half-back. So both sides, little turnovers in that passage of play there. Glenelg couldn't make the most of it. Here's Jimmy Tumpus, who's coming up for possession number 4. Decides to come out to this side. It's one-on-one. Jackson Edwards did really well in that situation. A handball comes out to Allen. He's clean to Snook. So they've done this well. They've worked it back. Durden. Little kick is cut off nicely. It was good work by Stengel. And now he gives off to Much. His kick is just a little angled. It invited Curran into the contest. And the umpire has found a free kick. It's going to go the Eagles' way.
That may be a defensive run with roll from Ferns on Curran so that he can't intercept. It looked as though Ferns had eyes for his opponent then, making sure that he couldn't impact the play.
Menzel back in the side with the kick to McFarlane. Just falling onto him was Durden. No free kick. Tackle is strong from Reed Kuller. Squeeze kick from Lonigan, but playing in front. The ever-reliable Max Proud.
So well positioned. Goes across ground and finds Reynolds, who's down from the forward line just to help out across half back. I'm happy to slow it down for the moment. Proud provides an option, but Reynolds is looking beyond that. Up the line, Pink and Hayes fly. Neither can complete the mark. Ball on the deck. Ferns found it. Jams it onto the boot quickly. Partington been influential already. Curran close to the boundary line. Forced to kick quickly, and it will be out of bounds on the full. Free kick going the way here of Jack Hayes. He looks up and not a lot on offer for him at the moment. Now Menzel just leading into the pocket. Not with any great authority, so he's going short. Cross ground. Lonigan. Disposal number 4 for him. Tumpus gets involved off half back. Nice kick. Going back with a flight. Riley Knight takes the mark. Wants to get on with it quickly now. Brings it back to the skinny side. Von Berto. Did he get a hand to it? In fact, he did. So the boundary umpire says, I'll throw it in. Took over 15 minutes played here in the opening quarter. The Tigers on top by a straight kick.
And I'm pretty sure that is a defensive forward run with roll. Chris Curran's been in enormous form. He had 10 marks last week, so I think Jack Ferns is trying to shut him down every opportunity.
Stengel trying to run away with it. Lonigan couldn't get the handball. Edwards gives in tight. It was Martini just squeezed out of it. Stengel again buttering up with a tackle. No, they did well there. The forward line holding the ball in well for the Eagles. Get another chance to reset, Biggles.
So still enough numbers around this from a Glenelg point of view, but they'll try and get Stengel on the move here. They hit out to the negative side.
Little stretch over the back was Durden. Snook squeezes his kick forward off the deck. And here's the kick coming out from Agnew. Oh, losing his feet is McFarlane. And in trouble was Allen. Chased down. Paddy Gafrida clean with the pickup. Yates with the tackle on him. Good hard contested footy here. In pretty challenging conditions. This is probably as soft a field as we've seen all season.
5 Eagles players haven't had a disposal as yet, so that's concerning. Only a couple for the Bays.
Bradley around the body. Motlop impacts the contest there against Tumpus. Yates may have been taken high. Umpire put the whistle away. Now he's found a free kick. Play on to advantage. A chance here for Brett Turner to charge off, and they've called play on again. Well, we've got multiple whistles now. It would appear. And the Eagles players not happy with the decision, but it's going to be a free kick going the way of the Tigers. Almost directly in front, 30 metres out. And a chance for Liam McBean.
Now, after the advantage was played, Luke Thompson just wrapped an arm around the waist of McBean. The umpire was right there. Not a lot in it, but because he was so close to where the contest was, he's paid a holding the man free kick, and the Ken Farm medalists should drill this one.
Coming off a 5-goal haul 2 weeks ago against North Adelaide. And these teams clashed earlier this year in round 2. He kicked 1 goal. Last visit here, he kicked 2 goals as well. Took a long time there and fought his way through it, but just pushed it to across the face a little. A minor score. And Liam McBean now 27 goals, 14 to lead the competition. Tumpus restarts, but it's cut off. Chris Curran read it brilliantly, then cuts across and takes the mark. You mentioned those players without a possession so far, Biggles. I just get the impression that Glenelg are up for this a little more hungrier than the Eagles at the moment, and the Eagles can't afford to be passive because we know what the Tigers can do. They're unbeaten so far. And they've come here on a mission. It hasn't been a happy hunting ground for them. The Eagles have won 8 of the last 9 here against Glenelg. So the Tigers determined to keep that undefeated record intact. Youngfer dispossessed in the tackle. Cheetahs, his hand pass, favoured Snook. Heavy contest. Tumpus did well. Now a chance out wide. Zane Williams got it from Beacon. Forced to kick hurriedly. And standing his ground. Mark's been cut off there. And a chance for Edwards now. In fact, ball going forward. Oh, Hayes impacts the contest after Martini sent it forward. Another whistle and another free kick Tigers' way, and McBean will get another crack at it.
Hayes didn't seem to argue with the umpire. It was a pretty big pack, and he certainly killed the footy, but McBean's going to have another gettable shot here for him. So it was Thompson who sort of shoved him out. It certainly wasn't Hayes. Apologies there. And the bigger body of McBean and his mobility worries so many defenders when he gets on the move. So strong overhead.
He's kicked goals in 9 of his 10 appearances this season, Liam McBean. From 45, likes it off the boot. Goal umpire didn't have to move much at all. The Tigers have got 3 of the first 4.
Liam McBean, the pinpoint kicking style of him. The Bays are off to a flyer. I've got 3 goals, and he had 5 goals a fortnight ago, so he's in red-hot form.
Takes him up to 28 for the season, McBean. Jared Redden slaps it down. Lonergan in best spot. Gives it off nice. In a little bit of trouble there was Putney. Still managed to get a kick at it. Paul was coming through. Lonergan again with a clearance. Von Berto in a good position, but read best by Edwards. Partington, he's got support and under a bit of pressure, but still gets a kick out is Dylan Lant. Youngfer, though, reads it, and his kick, much. Couldn't quite pick it up. Let's Bradley with a chance, and he can just pop it over the top. He's put too much on it, but Bailey, great use of the body. Kick wasn't ideal. Darcy Bailey did really well. He's gone out wide looking for Reynolds, and he's interfered with there, so the free kick will go to the former Carlton rookie. There's plenty of talent up forward. He's got 23 goals for the year, Reynolds, and we already know about McBean, who's there. Couldn't take it. Tumpus just trying to get a kick from Yates, and, well, he's probably unlucky, Jack Yates, not to get a free kick then.
Tell you what's remarkable, you just mentioned about the 2-pronged attack of Reynolds and McBean. That could be holding the ball. Umpire had good vision. You can have 2 players on top of the Ken Farmer medal tally in the same team.
Well, Lockie Hosey not far behind. He's only played the 7 games. He's on 19 goals. Then you throw in Motlop with 13, and Darcy Bailey's got 10. They've got just a lot of options there. Little flick out. Comes to Bailey. Squeezes a kick. Yates is in there as well with Gafrida, and they wrestle with it. Yates has almost got himself out of it, but he's been penalised by the umpire, and Gafrida has a chance to clear it from defence.
They're under siege at the moment, the Eagles defenders. They've had to propel the ball 10 times, rebound 50 style out of that defence.
14-5, the inside 50s for Glenelg. They're under siege, the Eagles. And there's Proud with a big fist, knocks it down, out of bounds. We'll have a boundary throw in. 22.5 minutes played in this opening quarter. Glenelg are the best first quarter team in the competition. They've won 8 out of 10 coming into this game. Both ruckmen under the ball there. Allen quickly onto the boot, left footer, high ball. McBean well positioned. Thompson did well over the back. Cheetahs, Beacon invariably seems to be in the right place at the right time, the youngster. Drives for distance. Hayes, good battle there with Durden. Slippery conditions, well picked up by Max Proud though, and he's kicked a snoot. Oh, slipped through his fingers. May have been a falcon in the process as well. Pudney's got it now. His short pass, oh well done von Berto. Slips catch in the greasy conditions was outstanding, and really enjoyed what Stengel's provided today as well. Running pass, got support coming from Riley Knight into the pocket. Unable to complete the mark there, Dan Menzel. Close to the boundary line. Martini has to retreat. And Max Proud kicks it out, but only as far as Kai Pudney. Plenty of activity in the forward line, but he's going to pop it up, looking for Jack Hayes, top of the square. Ball hits the deck. Menzel. Well done, Reynolds. Good contest, both hard at it. Ball had to be won. And you've got to love that from your key forward who gets back and happy to do some heavy groundwork as well just to keep it alive for your team.
And especially first game back as well, Case. Didn't flinch. Great contest that was. Reynolds and Menzel, not one of them took a backward step, and a free kick's paid over the shoulder here.
Against Brett Agnew, so Kobe Much has already kicked his first career goal in the SANFL earlier this term.
So the pressure inside their forward line, I thought that Proud was going to get back and intercept that one. They need the consistent movement, even on a heavy track, wet conditions. Forward line's got to continue to move.
Kobe Much from Glenelg, just on the New South Wales side of the river from Mildura. Has just pulled that across the body. In fact, Jade Sheedy's parents run the Glenelg pub. Tiny little town, and they've been able to recruit from there as well.
Sounds like you might have sampled a couple there.
Only been as close as Wentworth.
Well, I think Kobe Much was actually born in Broken Hill as well, so we're claiming him for the Silver City.
Yep, you want to take him too.
Well, they went to Glenelg as a family, but certainly Broken Hill taught him most of what he knows. He got him all the way to Essendon.
Maybe Iron Ore City, not a Silver City, that's for sure, Broken Hill.
Biggest silver mine in the world at one stage, I'll have you know, but that's another story. Durden forced to go double-fisted, close to the boundary line. Or suggestion of a high tackle there as well from Dylan Lant. And it is going the way of Zane Williams.
Biggles, don't poke the Casey Bear.
Oh, it's good to throw a little bit of bait out, isn't it? The big Australian. Yeah, it is a poor man's gold silver, though.
So a chance here for Zane Williams. 10 goals this season. Member of the Eagles Reserves Premiership last year. Goal kicker in his last game, and a goal kicker against the Tigers as well when they played earlier this year, and from a very tight angle.
Oh, wow.
He's done an outstanding job as Zane Williams threads the needle.
What a kick from there. Hardly any daylight. And we're just going to wait for the umpire to give. We couldn't pick it, but I tell you what, the right to left, that is not an easy kick. Williams loved it. As you mentioned, Case, the goal kicker in his last outing against the Magpies from his 12 disposals. And counting down to quarter time, we're inside time on. That is a vital goal for the Eagles to stay in touch, because Glenelg have really been in control this first term.
And Kobe Much misses almost directly in front. And Zane Williams converts from the boundary line.
Beautiful kick. And his granddad, Rod Skews, former Woodville player, be very proud of that. And here's a chance to come through. Turner, the former West Adelaide player, goes forward. Reynolds had a go at it, responded pretty well on the deck quickly. Bailey working overtime in there, and you're not going to get out there. There's a little bit of a leg lock manoeuvre going on from Ben Jungfer there.
In case you mentioned that poor record the Bays have had here at Oval Avenue, well, Brett Hand can use that as inspiration. In a season like no other where they 10 and zip, I'm sure he flagged it to get the boys up to say this is an opportunity we can turn the tables in a place we haven't normally done well, and that's sometimes enough to give you a spark when you've had so many back-to-back wins and you need to keep the lads up.
And that win coming in the premiership year when the Tigers ventured over to Oval Avenue, going back with a handball was Lant. Under pressure, Sinor gets it off to Stengel, very casual, not concerned at all with the pressure around him, but uncontested there is Sam Durden, former Blood West Adelaide player, was off at North Melbourne for a little while and decided to come and play at Glenelg because of some friendships that he developed while he was over in Victoria. Bradley, just almost legged there, hurried kick comes from Turner. Here's Bailey. Oh, that was terrific work there by Jungfer, able to just get that ball in. And this is Pudney. He's second of the Hair Bear bunch. There's a bloke who's had all his hair cut off. Angus Paul just been corralled, and he gets around Lant really nicely. And the kick is fantastic. Here goes Menzel. Can he just go with a little... No. Gee, it would have been a goal. It deserved to be a goal. Just the work, the build-up from the teammates there.
Well, he just didn't realise he had so much time. As soon as his opponent, Martini, went to ground, he had it all to himself and had too much time to think through it.
Well, entertaining first quarter concludes here. Glenelg win their 9th opening quarter in 11 games. They have a 5-point edge here as the top 2 teams in the statewide Super SANFL go at it. Stay with us here on Channel 7. A lot more coming your way.
A bit soft, but if you want to set back after quarter, our one-on-ones, jump, set us up, mate. Our one-on-ones are really good. So just make sure we start this quarter one-on-one, win our one-on-one battles, and then we'll go from there, eh?
Yeah.
Right. So if Reynolds does go deep.
That was a defensive group from the Eagles, and well, 2 extremes there. Game number 6 for Luke Beacon was chatting in there. Really good to see some leadership from him. And then the other voice you heard was Brian Harada, 200 gamer from Central District there. And look, they're under fire a little bit. They're just within 5 points, though. But Biggles, Glenelg looked like they had certainly more control in that term.
They did. Eagles defenders were under siege. Moller McBean certainly causing headaches, and they lost some important one-on-ones, which is what Harry Harada was talking about there.
Riley Knight gets the Eagles forward as term number 2 gets underway. Only as far as Lant. Impressive again so far. Closing speed from McFarlane was strong there as he went at Yates. Ball in dispute right near the boundary line. And body work there from Jack Yates was strong as well as he knocked down Dane McFarlane. A little bit happening off the ball here as well. Jimmy Tompus has dispensed with the long sleeves and now gone to the short sleeves, and he and Reed Cooler have been having a shoving match for most of the game so far. Partington dispossessed Agnew against Sinor, close to the boundary line. Hand pass into space. Cheetahs found McFarlane. Well shut down by Agnew. Ball still in dispute. They can play this in a phone box at the moment. But McFarlane dancing along the boundary line, showing them some tricks, and eventually it's knocked down out of bounds.
Joe Sinor was the one the Eagles really need to get heavily involved. He's had 3 disposals. One was partially smothered then, but he's a jet, so if they can get him more of the footy, but he's getting some close attention paid to him at the moment.
Regan used the body well, gave it to Sinor, couldn't get his way out. Snoot can. Just a high ball, we've got to sit under it. Partington and Pierce Seymour had both hands on it, couldn't hold. Motlop, Yates shoots one out. That was good. Bradley. McBean, he's got some support from Darcy Bailey. Just goes a little chip kick, wanting to run onto it. And there's Beacon. He's had another good start to the game as well, the 20-year-old. Here's Stengel. Oh, he's released Riley Knight beautifully. Kick, though, is in space. So Max Proud's got plenty of time to recover. Decides to head out the other way. It's a nice long kick, and he's found McCarthy, who's back in the side today.
Max Proud, his ability to read the ball is just insane. He predicts it before it happens, like it was a kick to advantage to space, and he's still got a hand on it, almost completed the mark.
Snoot called to play on. Kick wasn't the required distance. So good pressure here from the Eagles. Ferns off the ground. Might favour Von Berto. Got Redden in support. The big man still inside the centre square. Lead comes from Menzel. Just got some separation there momentarily from the teenager Brody Newman. And takes a mark and well within scoring range.
He's having a quick look around, but I think he'll take the onus upon himself, Dan Menzel, and had a test on his quad to try and get up for today's game. And well, of course, he had some foot injuries last year when he was with Central Districts, and he's determined to get some string of games together here at Oval Avenue.
2 weeks ago, was very impressive with 3 goals. This one's across the face, not his best effort. They can test right adjacent to the behind post. Jack Hayes, not getting much change out of Max Proud there. Good battle between 2 high-quality players.
The other asset that Dan Menzel has, once he gets up and going, it's a fitness in. They can throw him in at the centre bounce and just get that clearance work.
Oh, Hayes snatched it out of the ruck, and a wide-open goal beckoned and just dragged the kick to the near side and through for a minor score. Would have preferred to have done much better with that.
This is Lant with a big clearing kick. Almost takes him out to the wing. Yates. A flood of yellow jumpers just holding him in there. Sinor overran it as well with some pressure. most things were pretty square stats-wise. Looking at that first term outside, the inside 50s were +8 in favour of Glenelg, and contested possession, they were +10. So in these sort of conditions, it's a terrific sign, but already the Eagles at the start of this term have started to close in on that gap that was there with contested possession. As ball goes off the ground at Tompus and see it out.
It's an important battle, contested possession. It sends a message to not only your defenders but your forwards about who's going to be winning the trenches, and Matty Schnook does that. 9 disposals so far. Land has 9. For the Eagles, Cheetahs has 8. Riley Knight with 8 touches also.
Tick over 4 minutes played in this second quarter. Well, still looking to add to their quarter-time score. The Eagles just the one behind so far. As Redden takes front position, wins the tap. Cheetahs quickly. Snook found it on the deck. Partington working with intent. Drives for distance. McBean's got 2 to beat. Rowland and Thompson were there. And the speed came from Toby Pink, kicked it to his own advantage. He's a dangerous commodity, Toby Pink, but that's an excellent tackle, dragged down by the 200 gamer Pekka Frida, who's just whispering in his ear as well.
First of all, I thought Pink's speed was electrifying. He had them all beaten, but then it was like a 100-metre sprint, and they'd given him a head start. And somehow the veteran, Dr. Smooth, Graffita, shifts through the gears and runs him down.
34 years of age, the oldest man playing today, and he tracked down Toby Pink and told him all about it as well. That was spectacular work.
Young fella, you might be quick, but I'm determined. And they're both exhausted after that sprint now, and I reckon Pat Graffita's just making sure his hamstrings are still attached.
A boundary throw-in, Redden and Hannett to do the ruck work. Shallow throw-in favours Hannett. Game Partington doing some good work close to the boundary line. Centering kick as well. Ball hits the deck. Bailey got McBean in support. Cooler is there as well. Agnew joins in. McBean needs support. A quick kick out of the congestion, and it's deflected through, so some goalkeeping work being done there by Pierce Seymour off the kick from Reed Cooler.
Impressive thing about Glenelg this year, they haven't had to rely on Partington to do the heavy lifting disposal-wise, and whilst he's had 10 touches today, he's not getting his huge numbers that he did in his Magarey medal year, and they've got other contributors certainly around that centre square area.
Gus Paul read that beautifully off hands. Lonergan combining, and then a clearing kick coming from Rowland. Here's Von Berto. Cheetahs getting involved as well. And a little flick back from Ferns. Cheetahs again. Riley Knight just drills a little one too low for Stengel. He's clever enough. He's got Martini to contend with, but he's steady and he's clean, and he gives it to Zane Williams, who's already kicked a ripping goal from the other end of the ground from that tight boundary line.
Nice little twist and turn together. They had some space there and some separation. It was a great call. And you just knew once he got the footy that he was going to make something happen. Whenever Tyson Stengel was clean and has space, something normally ends up pretty good on the end of it.
Zane Williams has played 9 of the 10 games so far, and he's kicked 11 goals, so he's having a terrific year, the young man. He's put this one across the face, and Hanneth just deals with it.
So another behind. Margin is 4 points in favour of the Tigers. They've led exclusively so far. Kicked 3 of the first 4 goals and opened up a 2-goal break. And good work there from Gus Poole.
Closing down. Back into the team, Gus Poole not giving an inch. And he's missed opportunities so far. Could come back to hurt you in a tight game between the two ladder leaders.
Shallow throw in once more. Hayes wins the tap. Stengel tackled immediately. Umpire hovering. So didn't have a prior opportunity. Stengel thought he was pushed in the back. Glenelg thought he was holding the ball. It's good work from McCarthy there. Hayes just bounces into Durden. Well, that's a suggestion of a high tackle there as well. And in these conditions, there is always the opportunity that that's going to happen. We've already seen 2 goals kicked from free kicks at this end of the ground. Now Jack Hayes will have a chance to kick the first goal from a free kick for the Eags.
Yeah, you're right, Case. His second effort work is just terrific, Jack Hayes. Coming off the back of a 3-goal haul from 28 disposals and most marks on the park. His flexibility, we've seen in the state game as well, to be able to ruck and push forward. He's probably the Eagles' most vital player
Multiple goal kicker his last 2 games against the Tigers. Hayes comes forward, likes it off the boot, and Woodville West Torrens take the lead for the first time in the game.
The statewide Super Replay gives us a clear look at Jack Hayes getting his first in the afternoon. He's getting midfield numbers now, 8 disposals as well, right up there with Cheetahs and Toompas for Woodville West Torrens.
Well, remember Jack Hayes just spending all his time up forward, but now working the midfield and all over the ground as well. He's stationed back near the square at the moment. Sinor into Redden, long kick from the big man. Hayes again in a good position, couldn't hold on to it. Bradley, clever, working out okay though, trying to get a kick out with Stengel. He's looked dangerous so far. Sinor taken down as he kicks. It just sprayed the kick out to the right, and some safe hands there from Brett Turner. And gee, hasn't Brett Turner's fortunes changed? He played some great footy at West Adelaide. He's now found himself at Glenelg. He's in the best performing team in the competition and posting really nice numbers.
Redden had the ball slip through his fingers, feeds Rowland. Kai Pudney tracks it down, hand pass, put Cheetahs under pressure, immediately tackled by Reed Cooler. Umpire says, I'll have it. So most of the attacking in this game being done to the left of screen, the northern end here. In the reserves it was similar, where 7 of the 11 goals were kicked to the left of screen, despite the fact there's very little breeze to speak of. Well, the attacking does seem to be at that end of the ground, and another free kick here, this time for Redden. Going to be beyond his scope. So he's looking, got Von Verto in the goal square trying to block for Jack Hayes. Redden looks to go short, not his best effort. Jackson, Edwards thought he'd taken the mark. Umpire called play on. And charging off the half back line, a chance here for the Tigers through Bradley. Toompas needs help. Youngfer provides it. He can go across ground looking for Sam Rollins, who's in plenty of space at the moment. He can control the ball. Short pass intended for Ferns. Couldn't complete the mark against Curran. And Thompson thought about going off the ground. Thought better of it, and it's barreled over. And we'll have a boundary throw in.
Looking at our Powerade Player of the Week, Lee Lear. So we saw him on the big screen, of course, the Channels of 7 when he took on West Adelaide, and he was brilliant. Took on John O'Beach, and he had 9 disposals himself and 7 marks, and really controlled the air, backed himself in with his marking capabilities. Exciting future out at Doggyland.
A outstanding athleticism from Lear, watching him last week, and he is, I reckon, a really good chance to be drafted. He just moved magnificently and backed himself with some nice intercept work. So he'll now go into the running for the Powerade Breakthrough Player of the Year. Big thank you to Powerade for their long-term support.
Send out a slab of Powerade to the Anglevale Owls, don't they, Soda?
That's his club, yeah. He does come from the Owls. Their female side are called the Hooters. The juniors are called the Owlettes, though, because, you know, that wouldn't be appropriate.
Hoot, hoot.
Exactly, good on them, Anglevale. We were out there a couple of years ago. We went out and had a look at the club. Out north.
Really?
Yeah, it's a terrific club
marketing
down there. Good on them.
Yeah.
High ball.
Ours are not that scary, though, but...
Well,
certainly.
let's move on. As Brett Turner gets involved to Bradley. Here's Edwards, fresh off his dad, being inducted into the Crows Hall of Fame on Thursday night. Jackson was there along with younger brother Brody, who's in the under-18s here at Glenelg. Kick is good to Allen. And Matty Allen provides a great option for him because he is a big boy. Works well in the midfield. Long on his left. Pink. No, won't get to him. And just sliding through is Sam Rowland, one of the probably most underrated players in the competition.
Yeah, the state backmen, they're starting to get a little bit more organised across half-back, whereas the first term, and that's not 15, so first term Glenelg really controlled their inside forward 50 entries, which made Wood West Torrens panic a touch.
Chris Curran takes the mark. Starting to work his way into the game. Short for Edwards. And the Eagles getting numbers behind the ball. A poor kick. Pudney cuts across ahead of Partington and takes the mark, and a chance now for the Eagles to rebound. Toompas coming up for disposal, number 12. Most in the game. And that one he's wasted. Giving it to Toby Pink, who wants to go short as well. On the bounce, found Brett Turner. And Glenelg building through Newman, the teenager. Eagles with some defending to do here. Hand pass really didn't do Jack Yates too many favours there. Youngfer With Yates in over the top of him, forces a stalemate. And we'll have a ball up. 14 and a bit minutes played here in this second quarter, which has produced us the one goal so far.
So maybe Pink and Motlop looking to get eye contact. Motlop tried to squirt out to the side but couldn't get hold of it.
The Knight got it from Sinor around the body. Von Berto. Well done, Pudney, in a tight situation. McFarlane again dancing on the boundary line and dragged over. And we'll have a boundary throw. Been a good contest. High quality affair between the best two teams in the competition statistically, the highest scorers and the best defenders. And the latter position suggests they're going to be around at the pointy end of the season as well. Pink with the ruck work against Hayes, who just used the body, and a free kick going the way of Brad Agnew, who's being held off the ball, according to the umpire. Reynolds on the move in the forward line. They head in that direction now, but he's got two to beat. Hayes in the front position. Reynolds almost snatched the mark. Ball hits the deck. Rowland, seen plenty of it. Reynolds off the ground to himself. Now McBean close to the boundary line and going to be wrestled over here by Thompson. Would he keep him in board? And we're going to have a ball up right adjacent to the boundary line. Toby Pink and Jack Hayes will do the ruck work. Pink taps it to the advantage of a teammate. McBean pinned on the boundary line, had to kick quickly. Went straight across the face of goal, and the race is on now. Rowland off the deck, didn't get much on it. Ferns had to be strong in the contest and was, and won a free kick as well. You know what you're going to get from Jack Ferns, 110% every time.
So that run with Roll, he always has an awareness of where Curran is. Curran's just had the two marks. As a defensive forward, he is not allowing any sort of free play to Curran. Have a look at the free kicks there. Jeez, Woodwest Torrens getting a nice rub of the green.
Yeah, 13-8 now in favour of the home team. And that is a good job that Ferns is doing on Curran. We know he's just one of the most elite intercepting marking players in the competition. Has been for a really long time, the premiership skipper. Pink up against Yates. Down to Turner, could not onto it. Yates getting involved again towards Tumpus. Cole's valued player will pick up the $250 voucher at the end of the game. So far, Biggles, who have you had your eye on in this first half?
The evergreen Matty Snook continues after backing up 34 disposals against the Roosters. He's now on track again. He's had 11 touches so far with 3 clearances, and that is the most clearances for the base. 4 clearances to Jared Redden, the big man, doing some work there. So Jared Redden's actually picked up a couple of free kicks also in those ruck stoppages, which have been sort of ticky-touch free kicks, but Big Reddo will be in the running for Cole's valued player, and I reckon he won't waste the cash at Cole's either. He'll be going straight to the meat section.
His chance for Partington to extract the ball out of the centre, knock it forward. McBean, he's got a couple to contend to in Rowe and also Thompson. He's not going to get out of there, and keeping in mind straight after this game, it is the Crows taking on the Blues. Adelaide in and out today, just going for a fly-in, fly-out mission. And then, of course, 7 News following that later this evening.
Tumpus sharked the tap, forced to kick quickly though, high ball. And going back with a flight. Terrific mark, Chris Curran. Touch of class there.
Can't keep him down long.
One of 11 players that was in the 2019 Premiership team playing today. The Eagles have got 13 from last year's Premiership team lining up. And Yates just trying to work it to his own advantage there. Youngfer found it on the deck. Hayes in over the top. Here's Rowland once more. His quick kick, Knight, went one-handed, needs help. Poole provides it, sold the dummy nicely as well. Got away from Martini. Low kick though, really didn't have enough on it. Shark by Durden. And his high ball, tough to mark. Nuddle to get there, Kobe March. Will drag down Youngfer. Good tackle, free kick going the way of the Tigers, Toby Pink. Youngfer just coming off second best there as well. Slow back to his feet.
It's been pretty good up to that point. You know, if it's been nice with his dash from defence.
Pink, long, plenty of flight there. This is Bailey, comes down quickly around on his left. Darcy Bailey just misses.
He doesn't need too much to hurt you as well, Darcy Bailey. He'll be dark with himself there.
He's the sort of player, get half a dozen kicks and kick 2 or 3 goals. Premiership player, of course, spent some time with the Crows in their development team and played some terrific footy there as well.
Tompus, disposal number 14, the most in the game, wanted Thompson, going back with a flight. Well done, Matt Allen, just to diffuse that. McFarlane wrestles out of the tackle, outside of the right boot, sold Riley Knight into trouble. Over the top, Martini, and the ball trickles out of bounds. Over boundary throw, nearing time on here in the second quarter, and the fans finding their voice as well.
And it's unusual for Matt Allen to miss a tackle as well. He's so strong. We talked about his bigger body, but at 9 tackles against the Roosters, had some important plays today also.
Brett Turner around the body, centre half forward, one-handed there, Reynolds. Here's Beacon charging off. Good depth with a kick as well. Nice mark from Von Berto, but a free kick going the way of the Tigers here. Max Proud will be the recipient. And he's got numbers across the ground, and that's where he's heading now. Durden, or Brody Newman, in fact, it is, who gets the kick. And a chance for the Tigers. Again, Curran need to be good in the contest there on the kick from McCarthy. This high ball, Redden well positioned here, just couldn't get to the drop zone. Sinor having trouble reeling it in. Tompus, quick hands. Sam Rowland with it next. Front of the pack, Pudney, 2 hands to it, and they're paying the mark. Well, in these conditions, not surprising. Kobe Much with it. Charging at it, Menzel. Crashed into Ferns, and he might have come off a little second best there, Dan Menzel. And here's Rowland. He's been busy. McBean said he got a piece of the action. Umpire's going to pay the mark, though. And a 25-metre penalty for lingering in the tackle.
Menzel's up, which is a good sign for the Eagles.
Yeah, a little proppy, but a big contest. Gee, hit it hard. Really smashed the pack, and love that when your forwards come steaming out and bring the ball to the front.
I think because every time you see Dan Menzel go to ground, it's heart and mouth stuff. He's had such a treacherous run with injury, but wonderfully
I had
skilled
rotten
player.
luck, didn't he? For his 80 AFL games, he was so unlucky.
Here's a chance now for Cheetahs. He's racking them up. He's up to possession number 12 here. Former Geelong VFL captain. Little give was good from Proud. He had some support out wide, and they've combined well, and his Snook had plenty of it last time these sides played. 12 tackles and the 10 clearances, along with a goal and 24 touches. Reynolds, and he's got Lant. Drops it into the centre of the ground. Here goes Matt Allen. So, clearing kick, there's not much out there. It won't get as far as McBean. You think Much will get there first as McBean comes down, fires a handball back. A little run from Tompus is good, and his chip to Riley Knight works well too. So that clearing kick from defence is really giving the Eagles a chance now. Knight, 2-on-1. That was Von Berto was the one. As Williams with a big sweeping handball, looking for Jungfar. He's got it, gives it to Gussie Poole, as Case said, back in the side today. Good to see him here. And here's Cheetahs from 55, just launches up, and a free kick has been found, just held as he was going forward. There was Menzel, and probably into the back as well. It was a 2-for-1.
It was a cannon on from Jack Hayes, so the push wasn't there, but maybe the hanging on was. Umpires have had a fair bit to say today, and there's going to be a 25 paid after a conversation as well. That'll bring him right to the goal face.
Well, it looked like the free kick was there, certainly, for the hold.
Yep.
It was actually his own man that cannoned into him into the back, but here we go. Dan Menzel able to slot one through for the Eagles, and out by 7 points.
Statewide Super replay. Menzel pleading the umpire, saying this bloke has got his arms all around me. McCarthy didn't think it was the case, argued with the umpire and gave away a 25, and Menzel puts the Eagles in front by 7.
That's 3 unanswered goals bracketed across quarter time now for the Eagles. 7-point lead, and Sinor gets them going forward once more. Front position Poole having an influence. Jack Hayes deep, Menzel also. No one can complete the mark. Hitting it at pace was Knight. Went without it. Snook found it. Got McCarthy involved, and now Matty Allen. Smooth moving left footer brings it out wide, and he finds Luke Reynolds taking the grab. just beyond the 50-metre arc at the defensive end for the Tigers. Glenelg restricted to just 2 behind so far this quarter. That is their lowest scoring quarter of the season, equal lowest at this stage. Big man Hannah. Distance looking for McBean. The height advantage on Cheetahs, who did well in the contest. McFarlane likewise, covering plenty of territory. This is Thompson, got it from Pudney. Touch on the ground as he surveys the options. Martini rushes out on the half volley. Well done again, Poole. This is Stengel, pinned on the boundary line. Keeps it low and finds Menzel diving down to take the mark adjacent to the scoreboard. And a chance now for Dan Menzel to go back and really make Glenelg pay.
And Martini was stiff there. He backed himself in and just couldn't quite control the footy, and it comes to the front, and then the Eagles can always sniff a turnover. And Menzel got on the end of some nice handy work there as they went inside forward 50 from Stengel.
Not too many better at it than this. Menzel got it low though and bounced back into play. Good tackle from Stengel. Seemed to dispossess Hanneth. Menzel comes again. Zane Williams, kick around the corner. Not enough on it. Came back to Hanneth.
The umpires called it minor score. The goal umpire saying it went over the line. And he was trying to get the field umpire's attention to say it actually had crossed the line, so they had to come all the way back. He was screaming at the field umpire, and the other field umpire had his eyes on the footy.
So minor score then for the Eagles. Margin out to 8 points. Biggest lead earlier in term number 1 was Glenelg by 12 after they kicked 3 of the first 4 goals. They've done a lot of defending here in this second quarter. Here's Pudney once more, wrestling against Reynolds. Jared Redden, high hand pass, and that's going to be last disposal out of bounds, and Snook ready to take the free kick.
We saw Hanneth present up on Redden before. That's what he's got to do. He took a nice contested mark on the outside, work him over, get one there, and then push hard forward again and make Redden go with him, because Hanneth has got some good mobility and some nice hands.
Agnew's clearing kick, plenty of support from the Eagles there. Kobe Much with some protection, and pick up another 25 metres here. So Glenelg, perhaps a little undisciplined on the lip a few times so far this term. Kick comes into Seymour, who's back in the side today. He's a bit of a wobbler, helicopter style. McCarthy was in there, couldn't hold it. Ball's flicked out to Von Berto. Can't quite get... Gives a little tap to Rowland. And Von Berto got a chance now. Pops a kick in through the middle. Hayes on the chest. And on the siren too. So here is a chance. It's 8 points now, the margin. Jack Hayes with a heavy ball. He's probably right on his distance.
We had 9 disposals. That was just perseverance, wasn't it, from the Eagles? Keep the ball in their front half. No easy exits out the other side. And 25-metre penalty was costly. Turnover ball, and then they just get it back in right on the siren.
So the Tigers have only added the 2 points for this term. Jack Hayes' kick is not going to get around, and they're...
It's a heavy day and it's not that clean. They're going to go a long way to winning the game. So at the moment, it's pretty even at stoppages as far as first possessions and how the effective time and space clearances have come out of those stoppages.
With the contest, obviously, in these conditions, so important. First quarter, Glenelg were plus 10 in terms of contested ball. Now, Biggles, that's now plus 14 in the Eagles' favour. So that second term, to be 24 more contested possessions from the Eagles, that really tells a story.
With both teams coming off the bye as well, you may have given both clubs a little bit of leniency in regards to how clean they were and how strong and tough they were. So maybe that's why Woodwest Torrens took a while to build into that hard contested style of play.
Redden and Hanneth at it again as we get underway. Second half between the top 2 teams in the competition. And the Eagles through Curran, who finds Partington just lurking at left half forward. McBean on the move. Reynolds likewise. Well, Partington ran into trouble there. Well done, Angus Poole. Forced to kick across ground. But it was a well-weighted kick and got it to the advantage of Brett Turner. Congested forward line. Now Motlop charges out. And down low takes a good mark. Just got some separation away from Sammy Rowland. And he's a dangerous commodity, as we know. Marlon Motlop kicked the first goal of the game from a similar position. Probably a little tighter on the boundary line with that first kick.
They've done well. This is how they started the first term, creating the space on the outer side. Nice kick from Turner, though. Didn't give the defender any chance whatsoever. Nice speed from Motlop.
3 goals in his last game. He's shortened up here. Wants the leader McBean and cutting across. Tumpus having a good afternoon. Just diffuses the situation, but his kick gave nothing to Ferns to work with, and Chris Curran beats him to the drop zone and takes the mark. So, under his good work there, Tumpus, Curran, high ball, pack develops. Reynolds got hands on it, so did Redden. Motlop, his hand pass looking for Turner, slow in arriving. Turner hard at it. Rowland, Tumpus, quick hands. Riley Knight around the body. That's better as he gets it to Ferns.
Not sure why the Tumpus mark was overturned. Umpire said it was touched, but unless it was touched off the mark, it wasn't any other set of hands there, was there, Soda?
I think Biggles, he worked out after that because he looked over at Tumpus and gave him the mark symbol. So I think it was a mark and he did end up paying that.
They're going to persist with that run with Rolf Ferns on Curran, trying to shut down the gun interceptor.
Oh, Beacon. Well, he did well there. He had 2 Tigers to contend with. One of them Hanneth and the other one Reynolds. This is pinched by Dr. Smooth. He does beautifully to freedom, and he's got some positioning out here from Riley Knight. So the former Crow drills it in low. Oh, McFarlane tried to take it on the chest, and just a little reach around from Bradley, able to knock it clear.
Oh, Bradley's been enormous so far today. He's been really good. Had some important moments. Hasn't given up on the chase, and nice outstretch just to get to the boundary line. Thought he was done, but good spoil.
Great camera work as well from our hard-working crew. Done a great job in this double-header weekend for us after being at Prospect yesterday. Partington takes the mark ahead of Rowland. Right in front of the grandstand. Up towards Pink, wrestling there with Gafrida. Good work from Pink there against the experienced campaigner. Goes on with it quickly. Wants McBean in single coverage, and he read it better than his opponent there in Beacon and takes the mark, and this is well within his repertoire.
So whilst Pink, it was a great grab from Pink, but he didn't take too long with the footy. Get it in there and really ask the question of the defenders. And in the first term we saw that speed of ball movement was dangerous for the base. This man here is as dangerous as Lee McBean, 6 disposals so far. His kicking efficiency not great though with his missed shot at goal.
14 goals in his last 4 games. He's been on fire, McBean. Only game he hasn't scored a goal this season was round 6 against Sturt. 9 of the other 10 games he's been a goal kicker. And this one, though, hanging out to the right, can't add to the goal that he kicked in the opening term. So Tumpus charges out a full back. Hayes on the charge himself. Couldn't complete the mark under pressure there from Durden. The 2 number 12s had a good contest all day.
Yeah, Durden's been good so far. Certainly hasn't flinched in this top of the table clash. 7 disposals, 3 tackles.
Quick kick from Knight, centre of the ground. It's Stengel with Martini just harassing him. Lance kick hurried from the centre of the ground, worked well to Turner. He in turn can go to Magarey medalist Partington. Just sits the ball up well, and Pink couldn't take it, sort of kicked it onto his head, and invited a couple of Eagles defenders in there. Gafrida tries to manufacture a kick. A little bit of rain starts to fall here at Oval Avenue. Sinor punches out a handball to Beacon. It's a smooth mover. Gives it to Pierce Seymour, a big wobbler. Proud, read it well, able to provide the contest. Snook, Proud again. Taken down by Hayes as he kicks. Falls nicely to Lant. He's 55 out. Wants to get things moving quickly. Pink's in a good position here, but 2-on-1. Kick again, just set up a little bit, and Thompson was able to come across. Turner and Paul harasses him over the line.
Well, Luke Thompson with the air assist. He left his man McBean to get over, and he knew that Graffiti was in trouble with Pink, and his closing speed was just outstanding. Got a fist on, killed the play. That would have been a certain mark, and the courage to leave McBean after McBean already getting an early mark.
Redden front position, worked it well to Lonigan, who drops it onto the boot quickly. Hayes again and Durden. Heavy contact as well, and we'll have another boundary throw-in. Eagles have to back up next week to down at Noarlunga against South Adelaide. And for Glenelg, it's a home contest against the Adelaide Crows, who were good winners yesterday. Polished display from them to beat West Adelaide by 36 points. So game very much in the balance here. Von Berto on the pay to 50. Hand pass missed the target. Lant did well. Matt Allen onto the boot quickly. Hanneth, the big man, got it. Toby Pink's good tackle on Gafrida. Ball dislodged. Holding the ball is the call from the umpire. As Redden and Hanneth untangled themselves just in the foreground. Well, Allen did that well. On a wet day, that's a very good mark. Against multiple opponents as well. Now his kick is going to fall short. Sam Rowland had it, slipped through his fingers. Cheetahs hasn't stopped trying, charging out. And the low ball comes in now from Brett Turner. Motlop, he's got a bag of tricks. He's got a big bag of tricks, and one of them is kicking a very nice goal. Motlop comes up with a finish to get his second.
Statewide Super Replay, having a look at Motlop. Clean gather, turns Toompas inside out and across his body. Great finish there, gets his second in the afternoon. The Bay strike back.
Great vision from Brett Turner. Just hammered that kick in low and hard across his body, because he did spot Motlop there, and suddenly now it's just a 2-point ball game. Stengel, and it falls for Pudney. Little flick over the top from Williams. Goes back to Ferns. He's got to be clean, but a free kick is going to go against Stengel, I think, to Martini, who's been wearing him very tightly all game.
Gee, that's a big turnover. Couldn't see what it was for. Stengel and Martini were right in each other's faces, but it looked to be Jack Ferns and the like were off on the outer side.
McCarthy and his Snook just retreating. Clearing kick out towards Allen again. We've seen that he does have really strong hands for a midfielder. Big, tall size as well. And Sammy Durden, former Kangaroo, who managed 22 games there, came from West Adelaide, and he's now at Glenelg providing, well, some more support for that wonderful backline that's sort of headlined by Curran and also Max Proud.
Whilst the Eagles are close to full strength, only probably Troy Menzel and Matty Goldsworthy, who's 6 to 8 weeks with that shoulder. The Bays have got a lot out. Ubergang, Billy Stretch is a couple of weeks away, and Lockie Hosey, of course, Johnny Sherringberg, Michael Virgin's a couple of weeks with his hamstring, and Darcy Lacornu, he's got a nasty hammy also, 5 to 6 weeks there. So they've got some talent to come back in, some depth. They need to tinker with their defensive structure today with the loss of Virgin, but they've done pretty well so far.
Well, I spoke to Lockie Hosey at half-time when we were down on the boundary line, and his hamstring injury is a little worse than first thought, and it might be up to 8 weeks. So they're desperate to get him back, but they're not going to rush him. They were hoping it would be 5, but he seemed to suggest it might be longer than that, maybe on the eve of the final. So, and there's Martini. He's got problems here. Multiple tacklers in over the top of him. Somehow pushed the ball out the back, but the umpire says, I'll have it. In fact, a free kick. A little bit of voice that the umpire didn't appreciate, and a 25-metre penalty as well. So that went through Coach Jade Sheedy, the Eagles, and just in the foreground, Brodie Newman limping toward the bench as well. He's hobbling badly. He needs to get off the ground, so that's not a good sign for the teenager. He's going to come off, and Jackson Edwards will replace him, but he looks in a deal of pain. So Hannett, high ball. Allen did well. McBean with the outside of the boot. Intelligent, well weighted. Got it to the advantage of his teammate, and a chance now for Jack Yates to play on. His kick puts the Eagles under plenty of pressure. Cheetahs did well to get back and impact the contest there. Poole knocked down after disposing of the ball, and the free kick is going the way of Gus Poole.
About the courage of Cheetahs there, so to going back with the flight, one of the smallest men on the field. And Allen again being involved with his clean hands, getting it moving forward, sitting front and centre. Great ball use from McBean, and this is trouble.
Turnover. Yates has got 2 to deal with. Flicks a handball to McBean and just dribbles through. Cheetahs say that was terrific, that courage you mentioned, Biggles, but not to give away the free kick as well. And he's just coming off for a little break. Cheetahs having a breather as Toompas. His kick did well there. McFarlane. Oh, he's turned it over now. Here's a chance. Tackle is hard onto him. Yates. Allen is wrapped up. But lucky to get away with that one.
Look at this third term in isolation. The inside 50 count 10-3 in favour of the Bays. Just 3 inside 50s so far this term for Woodville West Orange.
That left of field has been the side where we've had most of the play for the whole game. In fact, as Sinor couldn't quite get a handball. That's Brett Turner's kick, a high ball, 2-on-1. McBean in the sandwich there, getting around Bradley. Clever little handball. His kick is absolutely fantastic. I think it's Reed Puller that has nailed it, and he has.
Statewide Super Replay, we saw some nice work there from Andrew Bradley, the former captain, going back, just farms it off. And, well, you've got to finish off all the hard work. Cooler does just that.
Just as they did at the opening quarter to the northern end of the ground. Glenelg making things happen, back-to-back goals. Just the second time this afternoon, and after having misty rain at the start of this quarter, we're now in bright sunshine. And the kick comes from Kobe Much to get the Eagles forward. Oh, heavy contact there and friendly fire it was as well. And Alex Martini's in big trouble here. Chris Curran impacted the contest and cleaned him up behind play. Martini getting back to his feet slowly. That's good body work there from Motlop against Youngfer. Reynolds wanted it. McBean lurking and has got space as well. Now Motlop heads in that direction now, but Beacon got back. Couldn't control it though. Off the ground, the big man McBean just barrels it forward. Reynolds thought he was taken high. Umpire didn't see it that way and says, I'll have it.
That was a big ball. Reynolds planting. Let's have a look here. So both went hard at it. Well, Tumpus over the shoulder. That could have been right in front of goal. McBean maybe could have done a bit better off the ground also.
Well, Hannah put Josh Hayes out of the ruck contest, and the umpires, it was a late whistle, but it's a correct call. Free kick going the way of Jack Hayes. They've got to hang on here and defend grimly. The Eagles, back-to-back goals from the Tigers, has them back in front by 5 points.
12-4. Sorry there, Case. 12-4 inside 50s. That's why they're defending grimly. They're in all sorts down back.
12 points has been the biggest margin between these teams all day. It's been a real arm wrestle, and Hayes runs his measure. Well-positioned Thompson, had it better than anyone else, takes the mark and can relieve some pressure here. Wants to go quickly. High ball beyond Lonigan. Cutting across here is a chance for Sam Durden. Almost nutmegged Pudney there. Lonigan again, hand pass over the top. Well done, Riley Knight. Finds Menzel, who kicks around the body. It was an intelligent kick as well, and he found Jack Ferns just hovering in front of Chris Curran. And he needs to go back and seal the deal here, Jack Ferns.
Pudney and Junkfer across half-back. They haven't taken a backward step. They've probably been the Eagles' two better players. We now see Pudney pushing forward also.
Not his strong suit kicking for goal. He hasn't kicked one this season. Well, it was worth waiting for when he finally did, as Jack Ferns gets the goal to put the Eagles in front.
Have a look across the bodywork from Menzel. That's class. Not too many players can do that, falling out of the field of play. But Jack Ferns, there's a great call case, not a noted goal kicker. That one is a vital one for the Eagles today.
Absolute cracker, gives the lead back to the Eagles. Carlton and the Crows coming up next, followed by 7 News. But right now, this is a game befitting the two top teams. Tumpus has had plenty of it across half-back, just dribbles a little kick forward. Handball close to the line. Tumpus knocks it forward, keeps it in. Just concerned that it was going to be a last possession out of bounds, so the Tump was able to whack it Wayne Harms style away from the boundary line.
Adelaide Crows' flight was delayed as well, getting into that game in Melbourne, so a bit of a hold-up there, Soda.
Delayed by about an hour, but it won't affect the start time at all. So with the changing environment that we get at the moment with everything that's going on, they're there, the Crows, and they will be ready to go on time as Roland gets through. Much just he cleverly decided not to take it. He is under all sorts of pressure. Pink with a high ball. Hurried kick from Partington. Sinor, and see this out of bounds. It was almost at the moment where you'd expect the umpire to pull out a little free kick there just to clear the pack.
66-45 in this third term. Bay's well on top. They have come out breathing fire. 18-9 mark category. And inside 50s, 12-5. So they need to get a couple more here, the Bays, to flex their muscle.
Redden out of the pack, had time to look around and work out who he wanted to give it to. Here's Cheetahs. Clearing kick. Going up. Hayes going back from Durden. Been a great addition to them across half back, Durden. And Snook has held things up.
They've had a history of turning players from other clubs into really good players. Look at Michael Virgin, of course, from the Roosters. And what a star he is.
Well, that was a great story. Michael Virgin missed out on being in the premiership for North Adelaide. Went to Glenelg when he wasn't really wanted at North and played in a flag there. And he's having an awesome year. Just missing today with a knee injury. But Virgin is averaging 20-plus possessions. And he's just a great barometer for them. He's very effervescent and really sets the scene.
Redden front position. Up against Toby Pink, brings it to ground, did the roving as well, got it to Sinor, bounced back to him. Kobe March, quick hands. He gets it to Cheetahs. No one can complete the mark. Durden, we put Curran under pressure, but he was good enough to get out of it. And Lant, good acceleration away from the danger zone, and well-weighted kick for Jackson Edwards, and the left footer keeps it moving. Now Motlop against Beacon. McBean leads now. Kick over the top from Motlop. It's a good one. Just showed enough of it, though, to Thompson, who was able to impact the contest. Motlop has to come again. Edwards, likewise, wrapped up by Youngfer and Beacon. And multiple tacklers. Got to enjoy that, the Eagles fans working hard.
Great second effort, though, from Edwards. He really drives hard with his run. Nice ball to advantage, and then followed up again, getting plenty of the footy.
Sinor wrestles out of the Snook tackle. Bouncing ball, Lank trapped it nicely. Quick kick, though, only to the advantage of Youngfer. Took over 19 minutes played here in the third. Youngest Eagle out there today at 19, and Youngfer. His kick looking for Bomberto. Hasn't seen a lot of it. But he's taken the mark, and this methodical Eagles approach as they look forward. Not a lot on offer, stagnant forward line, so he wanted to go across ground, but that's not an option either. So just forced to kick down the line. Front position there was Menzel. Pudney roved it well. High ball, Poole, dangerous in this situation. He's got Cheetahs in support as well, and they combine well. Gets it across. Williams had to kick quickly, and it was a strong tackle. Well done, Brad Agnew, and terrific work by the Tigers defenders, and a little bit of push and shove to go on with as well.
And Gussie Pooley always fighting him. There's plenty of feeling in this top of the table clash. Look at him go at it. There were some nice hands there. Cheetahs to pull, but an even better run-down tackle to save a goal from Agnew.
Gussie Poole loves getting amongst it. A free kick has been found. It's going to be for around the neck. It's going to go to Martini. I mean, he's done well. He was cleaned up a little earlier. He was shaken, but dare I say it, he wasn't stirred.
Oh, please don't.
I won't. Half-back, Seymour and McBean. And it's the latter with the big hands. So there's only no one in the Glenelg front half of the ground. McBean down here doing some terrific work is Proud and McCarthy. Back to Proud. His kick to Jackson Edwards is good, and Menzel is going to give away some time with that.
That's some good spread and work rate from Edwards again. He was the only man who pushed out in the open space, had the go in his legs, and Menzel couldn't go with him, so that's why the frustration was with the push was there.
The kick to Allen was good. There's a couple of goes at it for Brett Turner. Lowers the eyes, kicks it beautifully to Partington. He's got options. He does go long into an open square. Motlop got a fingertip to it. Give him the benefit of the doubt and perhaps think that it might have been rolling through towards the points as it went to Motlop. But geez, it was good work from Partington. Some good quick movement. Started from Jackson Edwards, just changing direction.
Sharp Partington, isn't he? Very sharp. I still think that was a pass.
Free kick going the way of the Eagles here. Cheetahs worked so hard as per usual. 21 disposals today for Cheetahs, coming off that 41 disposal game with 9 tackles and 8 clearances 2 weeks ago.
Be in the running for the Coles valued play, you would think, Case. Cheetahs at this stage.
Keeps racking them up, doesn't he? He's always thereabouts. Great prize that is from Coles. $250 gift card to the player of the game. So Zane Williams has got it here, and it's certainly within his wheelhouse. It's a tight angle. distance shouldn't bother him here. And when we remember that he kicked a goal from the boundary line on the opposite side in the opening quarter, from a tighter angle and further out, that's giving me the confidence to suggest this is give this a ride. Scores level. Into time on, and that's not his best effort. Helicopter to the near side, and it's enough to put the Eagles back in front.
Mention those huge numbers from Cheetahs. He's a workaholic. He's one of the fittest men out there, and he's one of these crazy guys who goes and plays in Darwin in the off-season just to get some more footy, 12 months of the year. But it's insane that those guys that can do it, because it's not an easy comp up there.
Energy sapping, no doubt, to be working hard in those conditions. And Cheetahs, well, he's done it beautifully, and he was terrific last year when he crossed halfway through for the Eagles, ended up playing in a flag as Stengel gets swung around. Here's Joey Sinor's got enough time to set the kick and bang it through the middle, and just what they needed. The Eagles are out.
It's a hot footy. Great hands from Stengel. Under pressure. Sinor, one step, laser-like. Great kick, this one. Goal kicker in his last fortnight, and again today, and now he's starting to find his feet. Enjoys it.
Back-to-back goals for the Eagles after Glenelg kicked the first two of this term. A seesawing affair. And Riley Knight's going to give away the free kick there, just getting into the back of his opponent. And Snook did well to milk a 25 there. And Riley Knight needs to be a little better than that. Coach is going to be disappointed because he's going to get Glenelg inside their attacking 50 now, Matty Snook. Shallow entry though. Now Reynolds appeared to be held. And it's free kick going the way of the Tigers. Here's Seymour just caught behind there, and this is the danger of giving away that 25 in the middle of the ground. As you can see, obviously, Pierce Seymour, Roland really should have allowed his teammate there to have a crack at that. Yes, Reynolds was coming, but Roland good in the air, and to give away an obvious free kick, and now a chance for Luke Reynolds. Eagles on top by 7 points, and Reynolds with a heavy ball. A lot of breeze, the scoring end. He unloads. Got a good piece of it, Luke Reynolds. Oh, that's a terrific finish as Reynolds comes up with the first of the day.
Reynolds releases this ball just by getting on the arc. Free kick was there as well. That's a beautiful finish, and he's giving it everything to bring it back to a 1 point ball game.
24 goals for the season for Luke Reynolds. Sitting up there with McBean, who's going along beautifully as well with 28 goals. Here's Pink. Sits it up. McBean in a good spot. The big fella brings it to the front. Reynolds read it well, couldn't take it with him. And McBean getting down on his knees, doing some dirty work in there with Jack Ferns. So right now, as we're well into time on, it is the Eagles 1 point ahead of the undefeated Glenelg Footy Club. Putney was at the front, read best by Partington. Around again, McBean, the target, brings it to the front. Going through his Motlop, couldn't take it with him. Little kick off the deck, gives Thompson a chance, but a free kick's been plucked for the Eagles, and it's going to go there to Ben Jungfer, yeah.
The old in danger rule, we mentioned Jungfer and Podney, the two long-haired lads, have been really good so far. He just dived on a grenade there, put his head probably where he shouldn't.
McFarlane's kick up the centre wing. Down out of bounds. We'll have a boundary throwing. Great arm wrestle here between the top two teams in the SANFL at the moment. Conditions difficult. It's never going to be a particularly appealing match to the optic nerve in terms of skills, but it's been quite an arm wrestle. Here's Knight, wrapped up in a quick tackle there by Brett Turner. Umpire says, I'll have it. In the shadows of three-quarter time. A seesawing affair. 3 lead changes. And right now it's the Eagles by a single point, and a free kick going the way of the Eagles as well. That's 21 free kicks now for the Eagles. 17 for Glenelg.
Rucking infringements just infuriate coaches, particularly one right in front of the coach's box. But the Eagles have averaged just 41 points against in their last 4 games. Now, the Bays have kicked 43, so on a wet day, this has been a real tight tussle.
Strong mark from Brodie Newman. This is 19-year-old. Should have sampled statewide Super League.
It is all effort. Because you see, they don't want to go with us. Right, if we can go for it, but inside 50 there, we're plus what, Nate? We're about plus 5 or plus 6 inside 50. We've got to keep it in there for us.
Don't go dumb forward.
No, and what I like is the spread. And you got forward a couple of times. Same with you. He's coming out, the jack's working for us. He's coming out of the stoppage well. Look for the jack. Hands have been clean. The only thing is, I said to Maddie a couple of times, just look for those kicks. Make sure you get the kicks right. We just blazed away a couple of times and missed the target. All right, hey, maintain that rate. It's good. Jack, go again.
There's Coach Brett Hand, and well, so far they're 10 games for 10 wins. Right now they have got their hands full with the Eagles by a point here. It's been tough and tight all match so far, Biggles. How are you seeing this last quarter evolving?
Just get a sense that Glenelg are controlling it a bit better here. You can see they're up and about. They're running from the defence, and they really outworked the Eagles in that third term, but didn't put on the scoreboard. So 16-9 inside 50s in the third term alone. But we are set for a beauty.
Redden and Hannah been at it all day. The ball came back to Redden in the glue pot in the middle. McFarlane, high ball. Menzel being pushed underneath it. Good defensive work there coming from Brody Newman. Ball hits the deck, and it's locked in there for the moment. Umpire says, I'll have it. Riley Knight has come up with a lot of mud over his body after an initial restart in the middle of the ground. SANFL dispossessed. McFarlane beat Snook to it. Got out of the tackle somehow. Interesting hand pass. Durden, Bradley, about to be run down. Stengel got him, dispossessed him. Umpire said play on. Here's McFarlane again. Gets it out to Cheetahs. He's got numbers ahead of him. They're queuing up here at the moment and going back with the flight of the ball. Riley Knight's taken the mark. Distance won't be a problem. The accuracy is going to be the real test here.
Kicked a lot of goals from here, Riley Knight, and they come out of the change rooms, of course, every training session. This is the spot. And had a good spread there from the centre bounce. Was involved there early. 17 disposals so far. Bolts out, but to kick the first goal of this final term, this is massive.
We know he's a high-quality player. 55 AFL games with the Crows. 9 goals, 5 this season. That's just keeping it low and slicing it through the middle, and the Eagles enjoy a 7-point lead.
Statewide Super Replay. This is a beautiful kick. He keeps it low, and a vital goal. Significant boost here for Little West Torrens as they get out to a 7-point lead.
Terrific kick by Knight, as Biggles said, a little bit like a miscue, but it went exactly where it needed to. So
You've got to get the job done, don't you, Soda?
Exactly. 7-point break right now, and Riley's former side, the Crows, taking on Carlton straight after this game. Andrew McPherson has just been confirmed as the medical sub in that match. And Big Jack Hanneth has, managed to keep himself reasonably clean today so far. Gets the clearing kick out. Beacon slaps it forward. And a free kick is going to go against Knight. A little overexcited there with that tackle. Have a look at that again. There's a real tension in this game. You could feel it coming out since the second half started.
That statewide Super Replay, look, the tackle was legitimate, but he's going to pay another 25 for the scuffle that broke out, which will bring the former skipper Bradley well within range.
Riley Knight coming to the boundary now to have a break, and he's getting plenty of attention from the Bays faithful that have made the trek here to Oval Avenue, and here's a good opportunity for Andrew Bradley. He's just kicked the 3 goals so far this year. Very capable. And just what the Tigers needed to make it tight again. It's back to a 1-point game.
Well, Riley Knight, there's the 25 for the knee into Bradley. That's some discipline. Umpire was right there. Brings him within range. No doubt Jane Sheedy will be just having a few words in Knighter's ear saying the goal before was better. We need the discipline all day.
Well, they've only kicked 7 goals, Glenelg. 4 of them have come from free kicks. So that undisciplined work there from Riley Knight, very expensive. As Ferns takes the mark and plays on quickly over the top, wants Cheetahs. Will the ball sit right close to the boundary line? In fact, now it's over. And free kick going the way of Glenelg, last disposal out of bounds. Although that was called by the field umpire. Boundary umpire was calling for a throw-in. But we are going with a free kick to Curran here, as they look to build on the momentum. It's the Eagles by a single point, never more than 12 points between these teams at any stage today. 1 and 2 on top of the SANFL ladder They put on a cracking contest for us, and trust you've enjoyed our coverage here on Channel 7, the home of SANFL. AFL to come as well after this game. Redden trying to spoon feed Sinor there. Rolling in over the top. Some of these Glenelg players are getting hard to recognise at the moment. Red Agnew covered in mud down one side of his body.
The other thing with that Andrew Bradley goal case is that when you have a long-term servant or a stalwart leader of the club who comes up and steps up and kicks a big goal, it lifts the boys because he is a leader out there, no doubt. He's been there for such a long period.
172nd game, Andrew Bradley at SANFL level today. Bailey out of the congestion. Pierce Seymour tracking it back, happy to fist it through. And we are all tied up. Almost 6 minutes played in this final quarter. Haven't had a draw in the SANFL this year, Biggles.
How dare we tempt it? It's been such an arm wrestle. That third term, though, the Bays will look back on that and they know they had controlled the inside 50 count but didn't capitalise. So we heard their coach chat about that, and there's a turnover again here. Snook right in the right spot.
Snook driving in. McBean one-handed. Brought it to ground. Kick over his shoulder. Top of the square. And that's a brave mark. Traffic was coming. Luke Thompson, ever reliable. Happy to stand his ground and take a good mark right at the top of the square, and now release some pressure as he looks for Ferns out wide against Current. Pull. Nice blind turn. Did it well. Ferns was available. Reverse screw pump wasn't his best effort. Out of bounds on the full.
A couple of big moments there. Thompson, courage personified under enormous pressure there from Allen. And then the spin move out from Paul, but the Bays are going to end up with it again.
Lant driving for distance. McBean front of the pack. He's got his hands on it. And a chance now for the leading goal kicker in the SANFL to go back and come up with his second goal of the game and put the Tigers back in front.
He's got a great pair of hands, hasn't he? He had so much time to set up and try and get numbers back to help out, but when you've got this big man steaming up at it, it's so clean with his contested marking. And this one here, if he can kick this will be huge. The Bays to put him in front.
Two-time Ken Farmer medalist, trying to get his third this season. This to put Glenelg back in front, and he likes it off the boot. McBean makes no mistake, and the Tigers take the lead.
Have a look at the gun, Liam McBean, front and centre. Great set of mitts. Just stuck it nicely and goes back. 6-point lead to the Tigers, and McBean gets his second.
Redden and Hanneth at it in the middle. Lonigan sharked it, needs help. Cheetahs is there. His hand pass is a slow one. McFarlane with problems, dragged down. Just tries to push the ball out of the congestion. And the umpire says, I'll take it once more. Approaching the 9-minute mark of this final quarter.
Well, Hanneth coming through strong was Agnew, and he's been pinged. Advantage played, so the Eagles looking to go forward. Pudney flicked it out. Comes back onto a tackle. Jackson Edwards working well, combining in defence, and the mark's been taken by Bailey. Got to get things moving quickly. McBean's one out. Goes out towards him there. He's got a nice positioning here on Thompson, able to turn him inside out and just get his fingers onto it before it goes across the line. No, he didn't. Didn't get a hand on it in time. So Thompson with the reset, and some great work there by Jackson Edwards.
Jackson Edwards was involved at half back, so you can see his work rate. He just gut runs. That is fantastic stuff, and it's not just him at the moment. Bradley was the same. Partington, they're working back to get behind the footy, just to help out their defenders. Brilliant work rate.
He's used the ball well today, Edwards, from his positioning. His kick from Lonigan, back down the line. Durden was up. There's Edwards again. He had the call from Durden, and he gets a clearing kick up to the true centre-half forward position. Big fly. Pink couldn't hold it. Comes back to Cheetahs. Looks out wide for a bit of safety there, and Lonigan been amongst it again today. He's coming up with possession number 17, but it's his clearance work that has been outstanding. He's had 7 of them and a free kick. Now he's going to go to Jack Hayes. The Eagles chance to work their way forward. Bays goal in it at the moment.
Mention those clearances. Snooks had 6, Agnew with 4, and for the Eagles, 9 to Jared Redden. They're ruckman doing the majority of the clearance work. 7 to Lonergan, 5 to Riley Knight.
Lonergan with it again, got it from Sammy Rowland. Every Glenelg player is pushed into the defensive half of the ground. And Lonergan's going to kick to a congested area at half forward. Bomberto front position. Shark nicely by Riley Knight. Keeps the ball low into the pocket. Well, Stengel draws a free kick here on Martini. Hasn't seen a lot of it, Tyson Stengel, but he can be dangerous. And this is fit for purpose. Stengel on the boundary line.
The front and centre crumb was what got it there. Riley Knight, that was textbook. He watched the flight of the ball over his shoulder, and great contest from Bomberto. He gets it in, and one-on-one dangerous Stengel. Certainly causes headaches.
15 goals this season for Stengel, and that is as good as it gets. Scores level.
The former Tiger, the former Crow, Stengel, right on the money. Can you believe it? To lock things up again. What a battle we've got on our hands in this final term.
All square. Pink doing the ruck work now with Hannah having a little spell. Clearance comes from Snook. Gafrida. Oh, look at that. That is just terrific work by the veteran.
Can't do that with a wet ball, can you?
He did it with ease. Never looked like missing it there. Just pushed Reynolds away with the right and took it in the left. Oh, taken down was proud. It was a good tackle by Pudney. Another high ball going up was Much. Turner gets out and gets a clearing kick. Rowland under pressure into centre half back. Williams under pressure also from Edwards. Gets it now. Shoots it back. And the high kick from Proud. Good work by Jack Hayes. Matty Allen saying, well, I'll have my hands on it first. Dumpus done a lot of running and setting things up off half back. And Riley Knight, who's taken villain status, according to the Glenelg crowd. Down the line looking for Von Berto. Durden did well.
Jack Hayes getting busy now too. That mark across half back. If he doesn't take that and it spills, he was lucky to get it because there were hands on it, but there were plenty of Bay players just sweating off it, so he now has to come down and take the ruck work after pushing down the defence to help out.
Pink bodied out of it by Jack Hayes. No whistle forthcoming. Bradley tackled without it. Dumped. That too didn't draw a whistle. Rowland trying to draw one. Now hovering over the top of the ball. The umpire comes in and says, I'll have it.
So look to the defensive side for both sides there. Is this holding the ball? How did Bradley get rid of this? The umpire put his whistle away on that one.
Jack Hayes front position wins the tap. Sign-off wrapped up immediately in the tackle by Matty Snook, who enjoying the contest as well. 5 tackles for Snook. Reid Kula with 7 leads Glenelg, and Riley Knight has 8 tackles to lead that category in the game. As you can see, somewhat of a rolling maul at the moment. So much on any clean possession here. 14 and a half minutes played. Scores level. Never more than 12 points between these teams. It was Glenelg by 5 points at quarter time. Eagles were on top by 9 at half time and by 1 with a quarter to play. And a free kick for Turner to Bradley. Low ball. Well controlled. Well done, Matt Allen. Now he's got problems though. Had it for a long time. And holding the ball is the call. Well done, Jimmy Tumpis.
Discipline's going to play a big part here. Not to give away free kicks. We saw Turner with strength, his tackle. Tumpis there, very good at getting the body.
Hayes to Thompson, and he in turn over the top to Gafrida. Can drop it in short. Curran did well there against Ferns. It's been a good battle all day. Just looking at Curran's numbers, he's normally very good in the air. He's just had the 5 marks, Pickles.
13 disposals, yes, and that's a defensive forward role that Ferns has completed today to take him out and not allow him to intercept. But Matty Snook's 7 clearances have been vital. He's putting himself in the right spots again.
Clean pick up by Curran. Shoots it up. Yates around quickly to Bradley. He's got Stengel. Gets around him nicely and pops a kick into McBean. That was just great work from Andrew Bradley, and he's really stood up in his last term.
That's leadership and experience, isn't it? To balk Stengel. Basically took him on to get the arms free, then still had to complete the pass because he had to get it over the top as well. Beacon just to fly it enough and hit Liam McBean right on the lips.
2-2 for McBean. And we know he's just a terrific kick. I mean, he's been good for his set shots today. This distance will not be a problem. He's almost directly in front. And with the game all square, Liam needs it, and Liam gets it.
Great courage and commitment from Bradley to take on Stengel and then lace out McBean. And look at McBean celebrate as soon as he kicks. Does not deviate. He's a gun in front of goals.
17 goals in his last 5 games, a multiple goal kicker. For 5 straight games, Liam McBean.
He's a sausage roll on legs, isn't he, really?
Unbelievable record. So 30 for the season after winning the Ken Farmer medal last year with 38 in an abbreviated season, and of course finished with 53 goals in the Ken Farmer medal in 2019. High tackle. Free kick going to Riley Knight. 18 minutes played in the final quarter. Eagles need a goal. Menzel can't mark it. Chance now for Stengel, close to the boundary line and helped over there by Martini. We'll have a boundary throw in. Goals valued player of the game is going to be the duty of Rhett Biglands, and there's a few with their hands up at the moment. Biggles, good luck with that one.
Such an even spread from contributors everywhere. McBean with his 3 snags, Snook with his 7 clearances, and he's been desperate.
Still time for the Eagles as well. They're only a goal down. We're not into time on, and they've had some terrific contributors as well. Beacon's handball misses his target. Pink has got some support. Allen, who's been right amongst it again today. There's an extraction there from Jungfer. Ball going forward. The umpire, though, has picked a free kick. It's going to come back to Cheetahs. You think for the Eagles, well, he has been high amongst their best. Possession number 28 for him. Just been a workhorse in the middle of the ground. Tompus has had plenty of it as well. He's up to 25, but that is read absolutely beautifully there, and the mark's been taken by Durden.
Yeah, it's courage from Durden just to put his body in the line, and then not only that, to eyes on the footy. He knew there was plenty of players around him. Great intercept mark.
Only managed the 22 games at AFL level from Durden. Just a really good size, and as an athlete, he is going to be an absolute asset for the Bays.
Surely he'd get a game at the Kangas now, wouldn't he?
You'd think so.
Well done, Cheetahs. He's trying to single-handedly keep the Eagles in the frame here. Finds Sinor. 60 out directly in front. Menzel on the move now. Kick shorter than that, though. In fact, it's ill-directed and going back with the flight. Max Proud takes the mark. Menzel and Yates just in a tangle as well.
Oh, I thought the umpire was going to turn this over. He came stamming in, and Yates and Menzel tangle he saw, but controlled his whistle.
Lant had to be good in the contest. Handball over the top. Bailey may have been taken high. That's the call from the umpire. And Jimmy Tompus just needed to be a little better there. They had Glenelg right where they wanted them, but the tackle was errant and illegal. And Bailey now with a chance to relieve some pressure, and he's going short. Matt Allen takes a good mark. Fatigue starting to set in as well. We're into time on in the final quarter. Both teams been in front in this 4th term, but right now it's Glenelg by 1 straight kick, and 1 more might be enough. Even a point at this stage is going to be valuable. And it's Jack Yates going for distance. McBean front position. Ball trickles over the back. Reynolds, did he get a boot on it right on the line? The goal umpire says, I'll have a think about it. Calling in both boundary umpires and the goal umpire and the field umpire. This could just about decide the game. All clear. It's a goal. Tigers lead it by 2 goals.
So the umpires have come in here now. Has Reynolds brought this back? Whether or not he's over the line, the umpires came in with a conference and all four of them met up, and you'd hope they've got it right. That's a big goal for the Bays.
Well, it's been given to Reynolds, the goal. It's credited to him. So two-goal buffer right now. We are into time on. Glenelg have kicked 4 goals this term. The Eagles just the 2. So it should be, I think, another 3 or so minutes on the clock through the hands of Jongfa. And he's got to lay a tackle there on man who's popped up with a beautiful goal earlier, Reid Kuller.
Yeah, Kuller's done well. He had 25 disposals in the 2s recently, so he's found his feet straight away at league level.
Cheetahs and Signor combined. He's got to be quick there, run down Jack Yates. That was terrific work there. And Yates is going to take the time to have a little look here from 60 out. Shoots it in, looking for Reynolds, but cutting across there and taking his Cheetahs again.
Cheetahs would be in the running for the Coles valued player. He's been right up there. Wait and see how this dying minutes pans out. Yates' spread and work rate, his run down then, outstanding. That's a team lifter as well in these dying minutes.
Umpire comes in. Took over 23 minutes played. Eagles must get the next goal. Snook. Hand pass out. Now whistle as well. What's called play on. Umpire's waving play on now. Confused the players. Bailey, kick around the corner. Quick kick out of the congestion there from Jack Yates. It's across the face for the margin now 13. And one wonders about the Eagles' capacity now to draw this back.
In an arm wrestle, as the clock ticks down, they're going to need everything to go right, and this is not going right. The umpire's going to bring him back. So I think we're inside 5 minutes now. Hopefully called time on there. It's lived up to the hype, hasn't it, Case?
Sure has. And 13 points that we have now is the biggest margin at any stage today. So Thompson for distance into the middle of the ground. Just not doing enough at the moment, the Eagles. And Glenelg have got this right where they want it.
Adelaide and Carlton coming up straight after this game. And then 7 years following. But the contest is still alive. You'd think it'd only be 3 or 4 minutes to go on the clock. It's 13 points right now. And as you heard from Case, it's been the biggest margin of the day. It's been tough and tight. Tigers undefeated. Eagles reigning premiers who have been good this year. And they wanted to get a win today to try and get a little bit of breathing space from South and also Norwood. But right now it looks like the Bays go 4 games clear. We've got 7 left, so they're going to finish on top of the ladder, you would think, unless absolute disaster happened for them. And for the Eagles, well, they'll be battling out for a double chance at this stage with these other clubs we just mentioned. And North Adelaide, that's a good mark by Seymour. North Adelaide, we heard Jacob Surgeon say yesterday, he's got some players to come back in. They could have a good run home too. They'd certainly be in contention for a double chance. As Cheetahs, well, he sort of saw that Agnew was coming and then decided to keep going. He had a bit of a look up, went, no, I'm still going to go at him. And anyway, Agnew a little too high around the neck. So Cheetahs up to 32 possessions. Nearly half of them have been contested. At 4, Glenelg, there's Allen, working back to Durden, who's done a good job at centre-half back, and mark taken by Reynolds. A couple of goals from him have been crucial. Snook's also been really good for Glenelg with his 25, and 16 of them have been contested. 8 clearances from Snook as well in the middle of the ground. So there's been really good contributors, Biggles, on both sides.
Yeah, Reynolds hasn't dominated, but he's just had big moments, hasn't he?
Chance now on cue for Reynolds. The left footer rushing forward, neat pass, finds Bailey. And Bailey's slowing it right down here. He's got options. Andrew Bradley and Agnew had worked hard for him, but he's happy to milk the clock here as 26 and a half minutes have elapsed. He's a nice finisher as well. We know that, Darcy Bailey. Top 10 in the best and fairest last year. Goal kicker in the last game for Glenelg when they defeated North Adelaide by 23 points. Of course, they're coming off the bye. And likewise, Darcy Bailey with 22 disposals and a goal the last time he played against the Eagles, which was back in round 2. They beat them by 29 points on that occasion. And Darcy Bailey for his second of the afternoon to put some icing on the cake. And the Tigers are heading for 11 consecutive wins.
This is just remarkable. Not only are they heading for 11 consecutive wins, but they're going to break the Oval Avenue hoodoo where they haven't had much success. And Bailey steps up, 13 disposals, 2 goals now, had a vital goal in that first term to set them on their way. And their leaders today have been really good. When you think of all their experienced players and premiership stars, the Bays, they have not let the side down. And they've had some contributions from younger players also, the likes of Pink and Hanneth, who hasn't been around for that long either.
Around a minute or so left to go as Redden knocks it down. Snook again, just been accumulating beautifully, gives it to Agnew, pushes Glenelg forward again. Rowland taken down. Seymour tries to wrap it up and his kick is good for Jungfer. Down the line, Curran read it well, strong hands, just interfered with by Ferns late, and the free kick is going to go there for a hold, and that goes to Brodie Newman, the former Calder Cannons under-18 captain.
Had an ankle issue earlier on, came back on, so they strapped that up. Good to see him. That'll do wonders for his resilience.
Still a little proppy, but he's done well. Lant has had plenty of it as well. McBean comes in late. Tackle from Agnew. Taken by Jungford beautifully. Puts it forward towards Knight. Paul intercepted there by Lant. Paul again gets it. Gives it to Putney, and there's the siren. For the Glenelg Footy Club, 11 wins on the trot. They hadn't had a great record here at all. In fact, the Eagles have won 8 of the last 9 against them, so it is a huge win for the Tigers.
In any weather you will see us with a grin.